Okay, greetings once again. Welcome to Strategic Management course illustrated with Nokia case example. We have done the chapter 1, that's the outline of the course, and this is your introduction chapter. Actually, in the syllabus of this discussion, this is chapter 1. The first one was just an opening lecture and with the outline of the whole course. Here, I am once again Dr. Krishna. I am a postdoc researcher at the University of Helsinki, and I teach around the world in multiple colleges. With this note, I would like to get to the slideshow with the lectures that we have. In the first lecture, my recording systems and light systems and brightness was not controlled. I saw the video, and I'm now fixing that, so this is more clearer, and you can see me clearer in the video also, and you will be able to understand what I'm talking more in a personal manner, and then we can get to connect each other. Okay. So with this note, I get back to the slides. Let's see if I get to that one here with my slides. No, that's not the one. Just a second, I got confused here. Back there. And then, all right, so we are here in the slides. I will remove this. And then I go back to the, sorry for that, it's a little bit of hassles in the starting. I'm going to the slideshow and full screen mode. I'm going to the slideshow in the chapter 1. We'll break the videos into two lectures. This is a long introduction in a sense. If I can combine this in one lecture, I will be very happy. But if I miss the flow, I will be actually getting to the two lecture mode. But let's see how far we can go. So in Unit 1, we will be discussing about introduction. And in the closing of the first lecture, I gave the idea of this meaning of strategy and strategic management model, characteristics of strategic management, formality in strategic management, and everything. Okay. So let's start with some of the collection, a few of the collection of the vision and mission statements. Which company is this? Who founded it? Think about it. Vision is banking for the poor. And mission is by providing comprehensive financial services, empowering the poor to realize their potential and break out of the vicious cycle of poverty. Why I started with this example is that this goes to the idea of this stakeholders value maximization concept. So if you have figured out, this is Grameen Bank in Bangladesh. Or in the second one, assess or evaluate the vision and missions for AI age, that is artificial intelligence age. I'm thinking about the future now. Though I haven't introduced you what is the artificial intelligence is going to do. This is phenomenally important concept, and we'll get to this external environment analysis. What needs to be kept, erased, deleted. This is what you have to think. AI is a theory and development of computer systems that is able to perform tasks normally requiring human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision making, and translation between languages. It is automating most of the processes. Think about that. Now, what you have to do when you are entering the AI age, not only strategically for the company, but for yourself. What kind of skills and tools you need. How about this? Which company is this? I got this idea from Vivek Bindra's case history. So I give huge recognition to this great thinking. So I given a couple of ideas: asset light strategy, like aggregator business model, end-to-end responsibility for customer responsibility, predictability will return repeatability, service audit, teach technology for speed and scale, 3 clicks, 5 seconds, service booked, customer experience, operational capability, efficiency, everything is there. Technology in general, artificial intelligence is used, machine learning is used, Internet of Things is used, app data to decide price points. They have automated all the business processes. They are becoming the AI company, which is that company. Can you think about it? Pause a while, think about it. And that is, do you need more clues? Perhaps you didn't get it. Focus team for acquisition and expansion. Feedback to feed forward. Human element with technology is there. Lowest attrition rate. The process of reducing something's strength or effectiveness through sustained attack or pressure. With continuous training and skills. Will, hard work, management skills, and leadership skills. Okay. That is Oreo. The hotel chain, the biggest new hotel chain, which is actually capturing the business by storm. This is another Airbnb in the hotel industry. Right? And they sell the unoccupied rooms for every hotels that they contract. And strategy has developed over the years like this. SWOT analysis, portfolio approach, shareholders value, Michael Porter, core competence, profit zone, disruptive technologies, value innovation. So what's new about value innovation, blue strategy, blue ocean strategies, and everything is actually now driving the thinking. Okay. So what is a blue ocean? So there are red ocean, existing market, and there's a blue ocean where you want to get further, get to the next level, have a new innovation, new market space. In red ocean, industry boundaries are defined and accepted. In blue ocean, companies expand and go across industry boundaries. In red ocean, you have cutthroat competition, means the water is bloody red, like you see in the picture. And then in the competition, in blue ocean side, competition is irrelevant in the blue uncharted water. But building that blue ocean is not easy. Chan and Malvern in 2005 wrote a best-selling book, and I borrowed these slides from them. Growth and profits are restricted in the old red ocean concept, and significant opportunity for profitable growth is actually in blue ocean. So, as a student of mine, I beg you to think on blue ocean thinking. What is that? We can reduce the cost, we can reduce the buyer value. That's where you have the value innovation. Few principles. Okay. So you get to the first tier, and then go to second tier, and then go to third tier. Engage the 3 tiers of non-customers. The idea is to attack an industry where all the players, or the key players, top players, are not actually solving that problem. The need of the customer. Find that need, which are the non-customer for the existing players, and try to come up with value. And slowly you can get to the small, soon to be non-customers in search of better solutions. You find that. Then you get some of the second tier aware of, but don't use your industry's offerings. And then in the third tier, you have never thought of your market's offerings as an option. And just explore that box, and unexplored customers will be explored at that point also. Why it's important? It has profit impact, it has revenue impact, and it has business launches impact. When should blue ocean strategy be used? best situations. Leadership is committed to investing in innovation. Core business or organization is performing well. Strategic future-focused opportunities are not sacrificed for short-term priorities. If you remember, this is exactly rooted to the March 1991, the thinking I initiated, the exploration versus exploitation thinking. These conditions you have to satisfy. You can reduce the unwanted things. You can create the new things. You can raise what is working and then eliminate what is not working. For example, in this case, Southwest Airlines has done very well in some of the variables. Friendly service, like, no, yeah, from here, like friendly service, speed, and frequent point-to-point departures. In these areas, they have excelled everybody else. In other areas, they are very low. And this became their value innovation. Okay. Think about non-customers in the business. Draw an as a strategy canvas for you and your client's organization, existing situation, and start investigating your industry regarding the cost drivers and also the value drivers. That's how actually you do the analysis. Right? So borrowed from Lindley Hatton. Now you have a couple of ideas, Canva theory, or so on and so forth. I'm not getting into that. You build this into your reading package. But I'm getting into build to last thinking. There are two concepts: preserve the core and stimulate progress. This is a book on build to last. And from that book, I have borrowed these ideas. So you have to focus on preserving the core ideology, core ideas into the company, but you have to stimulate the progress. This goes side by side with the original idea of March 1991. I gave you already that exploration versus exploitation. Exploration is the stimulate part, and exploitation is the existing core areas that you have to exploit. In stimulation, you build best practices and strategic leadership, right? And so you can build big, hairy, audacious goals. You got like culture, try a lot of stuff and keep what works. Homegrown management, good enough neighbors, get going on there. Right? In Good to Great, Collins said that level 5 leadership. He has done various ideas into first who, then what, confront the brutal facts, the hedgehog concept, a culture of discipline, technology accelerators, the flywheel, and the doom. All of these are concepts. I'm not going into detail. But these are ideas, biggest ideas as built to last. And then you have Good to Great, best-selling books that you have to revisit to understand. This is a reference I'm giving to you. But the idea is to build your learning organization if to survive in the uncertainty and then also changing industry. So you have to have a very good mental model. You need to build your personal mastery. You have to think in the system level, and you need to have a shared vision and a team learning approach. Okay, so skip that. Then what is strategic leadership? Here, you will be having setting a direction, designing the organization, nurturing a culture dedicated to excellence. I pause a while and then I come back here. I start the slide share and then I let you think the slides that I have gone through so far. Blue ocean thinking. Okay, pause a while there and then I get back to the thinking later on various ideas. Okay. Okay. Let's get back to the slide sets again. I'm opening that here. I have some slides I can use for you. And here we'll have something on understanding How does it work? Those ideas we had already there, defining and everything. So we'll get to that just now. So let's go to the full mode. I have used 15 minutes of this lecture and we'll get to the basic outline. I have gone a little bit on the thinking of the blue ocean, but I'm getting back to you into your strategy management. These are the slides I borrowed through the institutions and we have license to use this. And I'm going through these thinking now. So we discussed these in our outline. So what is strategy management? A set of decisions and actions that result in the formulation and implementation of plans designed to achieve a company's objectives. So we touched upon the vision and mission as a starting point and built some thinking into blue ocean thinking. But now we're getting to the real definitions. A set of decisions and actions that result in the formulation and implementation of plans designed to achieve a company's objectives. Okay, so these are the tasks. 7 tasks. Formulate the company's mission. We did that quickly, like some examples there. Conduct internal analysis, assess the company's external environment, analyze company's options, what you can do in that particular situation, and identify most desirable options. Select long-term objectives and grand strategies. Develop annual objectives and short-term objectives. Please remember, you need to have the feedback loop also here. You have to have control, evaluation, and control. Implement the strategic choices. Evaluate success of the strategic process. Okay. So what is a strategy? You saw what is strategic management, but what is a strategy? It's a large-scale, future-oriented plan for interacting with the competitive environment to achieve objectives. Okay. Please remember, large-scale, future-oriented plan for interacting with the competitive environment to achieve objectives. It is company's game plan and is a framework for managerial decisions. What are the dimensions of strategic decisions? So you have strategic issues that require top management decisions, that require large amounts of the firm's resources, often affect the firm's long-term prosperity, are future-oriented, and usually have multifunctional or multi-business consequences. And they require considering the firm's internal and external environment. Okay. What are the levels? We'll be going deeper into this. You have corporate level, high level, business level into each units. In business units, like for example, Nokia had Nokia Networks as infrastructure business, and then Nokia mobile phones as another business, separate business, and those had different business strategies. Different businesses are unique, and they need to have unique strategies. But corporate level thinking is important to merge and have synergy of all of these businesses. Then functional level, operational level strategies. Okay. So this is a single business firm. You have corporate or business level strategy, and you have all functional level strategies: human resource, marketing, finance, and production and operation, and then R&D. Right? In multi-business, you have business 1, business 2, and business 3, and each business has their own functions. So you have corporate level here and multiple business there. As I illustrated, Nokia had Nokia Networks, Nokia mobile phones. Now they have 3 business units with other business names. Okay. Hierarchy of objectives and strategies. Like we have divided this ends and means concept, and here are decision makers mapping. You have to understand this idea. Mission, including goals and philosophy, is board of directors, corporate managers, and business managers role. Long-term objectives is achieved through grand strategy, and this is actually done in this level. And annual objectives are short-term objectives. They are mainly driven by these levels. 2 ticks means principal responsibility, and 1 tick means indicates secondary responsibility. So if you see, when you move from top to the bottom, you see there is a shift on the whole level. So you have from top level, you're getting lower level. Okay, that's very interesting idea. So corporate decisions are, they have greater risk, cost and profit potential, greater need for flexibility, and longer time horizons. What is the characteristics of these kind of decisions? They, in the functional level, they implement overall strategy, involve action oriented towards operational issues, and are relatively short range and low risk. And they incur only modest cost. Okay. Business level, in between. They bridge decisions at corporate and functional levels and are less costly, risky, and potentially profitable than corporate level decisions. And they are more costly, risky, and potentially profitable than functional level decisions. So you have to understand these 3 layers. I pause. Corporate, business, and functions. And then there is a topic called formality in strategic management. It says the degree to which participants' responsibilities, authority, and discretion in decision making are specified. How formal are the processes? Depends on the size, management style, environmental complexity, and purpose of planning system also. So all of these factors actually help with that. And then you have the strategy makers, right? Who make these. The ideal strategic management teams are CEOs, product managers, and head of functional areas. Okay. Then you have the strategic management team obtains input from planning staff and also lower level management staff. And role of CEO is to provide long-term direction, and he assumes ultimate responsibility for firm success and solicits guidance from board of directors. Okay. What is the benefit? So it enhances the firm's ability to prevent problems, anticipates problems, emphasizes group-based decision making, and improves employees' understanding of productivity and reward relationship, and reduces gaps, overlaps in activities among employees, and they have potentially reduced the resistance to change. What is the risk? It is a very time-consuming process. And currently now, when we are thinking about these online courses, we're using a lot of time in planning because we want to get the student consensus and parents' consensus before launching these programs. Right? Planning is time involving and negatively impacts operational responsibilities. Lack of involvement of strategy makers in strategy implementation may result in shrinking of responsibility for strategic decisions. So there's a dichotomy and this kind of linkage is broken, planning to implementation. And potential disappointment of employees over unattained expectations requires managerial time and training. Okay. Transparency has its value, but it has its own limitations also. And this is the process that we will be using throughout the book. Okay. In chapter 1, we'll be talking, we touched upon this. And in chapter 2 and 3, we will be talking about these boxes. And we'll be linking this in chapter 1 or 2, not 2, yes, 1 and 2. And in later, we'll do strategic analysis and choice, and we'll build these strategic labels, corporate and then also functional labels, and then we'll do the implementation later. So this is a complex process. It has dotted lines and then not dotted lines also. And then you have major impact and minor impact. All these things are interconnected. Please remember, feedback loop is from here going to the external environment. Feedback loop from here is going to the internal analysis. And the same goes to vision and vision also. Predominantly, this book by Pierce and Robbins is also geared towards social responsibility, the stakeholders' value maximization concept. So predominantly we will be exploring all of these together with that. So we will be discussing company mission also to some level. We will be having internal analysis, and then we'll have external analysis. I did that in chapter 1 also, and strategy analysis and choice, and then also long-term objectives. And then you have generic and grand strategies, action plans, and short-term objectives. We'll go deeper into all of these into each chapter. I'm not going to repeat this here. Please bear with me. I'm giving an outline only now, right? Then you go to functional tactics and policies that empower action. And then also we'll have restructuring, re-engineering, and refocusing. This is the implementation part. Please remember there are only 3 blocks: planning, implementation, and evaluation and control, right? So this is implementation part. So this is a box. And then you have strategy control and all continuous improvement. Okay. Why it is important to have a process thinking? This is very important to understand. It changes in any one component, that changes in any one component will affect other components. You saw the whole link chain in the diagram and then the feedback loop. Okay. So strategy, formulation, and implementation are sequential. You cannot jump without formulating to implementation. And then necessity of feedback from institutionalization, review, and evaluation to our stages. The process is very, very important. Change is always resisted. So you have to institutionalize, make sure that becomes norm rather than exception. And this would be a need to regard it as dynamic, involving constant changes in interdependent strategic activities, right? With this note, we have come to the end of the chapter 1. Let's get back to what we have actually seen, like understood the ideas that we started in the first part. It's not the slide that I want to show you. Okay, hopefully this is the one. Let's see what was that. So with that, we covered various ideas. Like if I go here in the slides quickly, rather than going into here into slideshow, we have covered the definition, right? The strategy management definition. We touched upon mission vision, and we also discussed about formality, how formal an organization needs to be, depending on size, depending on industry environment, depending on management model. And then also what we did, we actually looked into the strategic management model. How all of these 7 chapters that we are going to discuss are drawn into a single diagram. If I just show that to you, you will reflect that as a closing note. So let's put that here quickly. The strategic management model like this one. This is what we will be exploring box by box. If I were you, I'll take this as a printout and then put on the wall that I can see, or you can see every day. This much is very, very important to understand, right? So you have on the upper part, you have planning. In the middle, you have like how the external analysis part on the upper part. And then you have the real planning in the middle with the analysis and everything. And then you have the implementation and control at the end. And these are connected with the feedback loops. It's a continuous process. Despite the fact it is long-term thinking, you have to revisit as a process. Whenever it is planned to be revisited, you need to get the feedback from the market, from the customer, from the society, and then get going with the changes. With the learning mode, with adaptability, with both exploration and exploitation focus. That's what we started in the first chapter also. Why organizations fail, and why they succeed. Idea was there. And now we're actually revisiting the same idea here with the Nokia case, how they do the analysis, how they do the planning, how they do the choices, and how they decide. Or like Microsoft, how they do, or even Apple. Most of the organizations have these kind of textbook processes inside the organization as a Bible. So please bear with me. Now, some sort of slide sharing and communication is inherent in these recordings, but hopefully you got the idea what is strategic management and how it is actually planned to be taught to you, and what is the strategic management model. With that note, I would like to thank you for this lecture, and then I will look forward to seeing you in the next lecture. In the next lecture, we'll be going to the external environment analysis. Then we'll do the internal analysis and get to this box, strategic analysis and choice. Okay, thank you very much. On that note, I would like to close this lecture and look forward to seeing you soon.